Hello, boys and girls. Another story time, and let me remove this. Remember to wear your mask in school, wash your hands, and stay safe. But I'm excited to tell you about our next storyteller, probably because she is really a local. She is she is from Sapeo, went to schools here at Las Vegas City Schools. And so I really want you to pay real close attention to her biography, her information that she sent me, because I think that you'll be very excited to hear her tell her story also. So with that, I'd like to tell you her biography. Her name is Celestina Garcia. Okay, she's a 12th generation New Mexican, born in Albuquerque's South Valley and raised in Sapeo, New Mexico. She attended schools in the city schools. She attended Memorial Middle School also and graduated in 1997 from Robertson High School. Celestina is the first in her family of 23 uncles and aunts and over 500 cousins, whoa, to receive a full academic scholarship to the University of New Mexico. She also attended college in Monterrey and Guanajuato, Mexico, to reclaim her family's first language of Spanish. She was a biomedical research student in Nigeria, taught conversational English in China to middle and college level students. She participated in the World Social Forum in India, participated in a teacher learning program in Cuba about the literacy program, and has hosted leadership retreats in Costa Rica. Whoa, tell me if that isn't amazing. My parents, she says, her parents have high school diplomas, yet were never supported to encourage and to attend college. Knowing this gave her the determination to learn how to make this a reality. My teachers told me about the MESA program. I am reading what she's put down. My teachers told me about the MESA program in 7th grade and how being involved in the program could help me go to college. I listened to everything they said that I needed to get a scholarship. And over the next 5 years of my time in school, she focused on doing exactly those things. She got involved in programs, playing sports, volunteered for whatever she could, got a job, kept her grades up, and every summer either she attended a leadership program somewhere or more schooling. She says it wasn't easy to study when her friends were hanging out or partying, yet she knew that she needed to stay focused to get a scholarship. That was only the first step, she says. Once she got the scholarship, there was the work to keep it. Every year she took a full load of classes and worked 2 jobs. She needed to pay for her books, food, and where she lived. I continued to build similar types of involvement in college, says she, as she did in high school, because she wanted to be a doctor or get her PhD. So far, she has her master's degree in education from an Ivy League college in California. These experiences have helped her to return home and make an impact on our state. I love living in New Mexico, she says, and giving back. I love our blue skies, our culture, our food, and our way of life. It is special and unique and still my favorite place out of all the places I have ever been to. And she's been all over the world. And this is Celestina Garcia, and she is going to be doing a story for you entitled Alma. And this book, Alma, is a very special book even for me, but it says Alma and how she got her name. And that's what she'll be reading to you today. And with that, I give you Celestina Garcia. Good afternoon, boys and girls. We are here for another story. I am so excited about this one because I have a special person who was a former student of mine who's going to tell the story. And you've already heard the bio, and so you feel like you probably know her. So the book that she's reading today for us is Alma by Juana Martinez-Neal. When Alma, Sofia, Esperanza, Jose, Pura Candela asks her father why she has so many names, he tells her that it's the story of her name. It's a story and a history of her name, and she learns about her grandparents. So it tells where she came from and maybe where she'll be going. And it's a fiction book, a fiction children's book dealing with family life and family stories. And so now, to get ready for our story, I present our fabulous storyteller, Celestina Garcia, along with her son, Leoncio, who is a third grader at Mike Mateo Sena Elementary. So please welcome Celestina.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm so excited to be able to share this book with you. When I was a student in school here in the East Las Vegas district, Miss Griego was my librarian, and it's really awesome that now that Leoncio goes to Mike Mateo, that she was his librarian. So books have always been a big part of our family, and this one is really special. So we'll get started. Alma, Sofia, Esperanza, Jose, Pura, Candela had a long name. Too long, if you asked her. My name is so long, Daddy. It never fits, Alma said. Come here, he said. Let me tell you the story of your name. Then you decide if it fits. Sophia was your grandmother, he began. She loved books, poetry, jasmine flowers, and of course, me. She was the one who taught me how to read. I love books and flowers, and you too, Daddy. I am Sophia. Esperanza was your great-grandmother, he continued. She hoped to travel, but never left the city where she was born. Her only son grew up to cross the 7 seas. Wherever her sailor son went, so did Esperanza's heart. The world is so big. I want to see it, Daddy. You and me together. I am Esperanza. Cool. Jose was my father, Alma's daddy said. He was an artist with a big family, like many people had back then. Early each morning, he walked to the mountains and the plaza to paint every day. Sometimes I went along. Your grandfather taught me to see and love our people. Oops. I wake up early every morning and I draw a lot too. This morning I drew a kitty cat for you, Daddy. I am Jose. Pura was your great aunt. She believed that the spirits of our ancestors are always with us, watching over us. When you were born, she tied a red string around your wrist, a charm to keep you safe. Hello, Pura. It's me, Alma. Candela was your other grandmother. She always stood up for what was right. Escucha, piensa, denuncia. I am Candela. I love the story of my name. Now tell me about Alma, Daddy. Where does that come from? I picked the name Alma just for you. You are the first and the only Alma. You will make your own story. Alma Sofia Esperanza Jose Pura Candela. That's my name, and it fits me just right. I am Alma, and I have a story to tell. So now there's a note from the author. She says, her name is Juana Carlota Martinez Pizarro. My father named me Juana after his mother, Juana Francisca. My mother chose the name Carla to honor the memory of her uncle Carlos. My father was a man of decisions, so when it was time to register my birth, he changed Carla to Carlota on the birth certificate. He was convinced that Juana Carlota was the mighty name he wanted for his daughter. Thanks to that change, I got stuck with what I thought was the most old-fashioned, harsh, ugly, and way too Spanish name in all of Lima, Peru, where I grew up. Little did I know that later on, after I moved to the United States, it would feel unique and remind me of the days of where I came from. What is the story of your name? What story would you like to tell? So I want to share with you, from her question, right? What is your name? My name is Celestina Garcia. I'm a 12th generation New Mexican. My family has been here for a very long time in New Mexico. My grandmother is Celestina and my grandfather was Fidel Cisneros. My other grandparents were Pablo and Veronica Garcia. And my mom and dad are Leroy and Gloria Garcia. I have 23 aunts and uncles without their husbands and wives, and over 500 cousins here. In a big family, we have lots of names, much like Alma. So when I was born, my dad named me Eileen, that's my first name, because he thought no one else had that name in our family. And then my mom wanted me to be named after my grandma, her mom, Celestina. It turns out later that I do have another cousin who was born a couple years before me named Eileen. So she always says that she's number one, which is fine because we love each other so much. But when I was in college, I found out, it was Google your name, right when Google was coming out. And I found out that there was another woman who had a degree in education, a PhD, and at the time I wanted to have a PhD too. And her name was just like mine, Eileen Garcia. So at that time, I was about 22 years old. I said, well, maybe I should use my name Celestina. No one had ever heard me use that name before. And so I went and I asked my mom and dad, I said, would you guys feel okay about it if I used my middle name? And my dad said, yeah, that's fine, it's your choice. Because I wanted to be respectful. I know that my dad picking the name Eileen was a big deal to him. And then I went and I asked my grandma Celestina, because she was such a big, strong and major part of our family. I said, Grandma, what would you think if I used my name Celestina like yours? And she said, I think that would be awesome. You do what you need to do. And it was just a beautiful thing for me because a couple of months later, my grandma Celestina actually passed away. So I carry her name, and a lot of people who loved her and have really good memories of her when they hear my name, I think it reminds them of her. And then Leoncio has a really beautiful name too. His name is long, like Alma's. His name is Leoncio Zen Alexander Adams. And we named him that name very special. On the third day after he was born, his name Leoncio is a shaman out of a book like Alma, who was a really wise man. And so I think that it was a unique name for him. Also, he's born in August, so he's a Leo, so Leoncio fits that way also. And then his name Zen was about how his way of being when he was born. He was very calm and just a really peaceful baby. We didn't hear him cry right away. You know, he was very relaxed. And so the word Zen is a word that, you know, talks about being peaceful and a really strong word. And then Alexander is all the men in his family from his dad's side. He is the 4th generation Alexander. And then on my side of the family, we have a grandma that was Alejandra, so honoring those people from our past. So just want to encourage you to share your story about your name. Continue to always, you know, strive for sharing your name and having people to also say your name the way it's pronounced, if that really works for you. Sometimes people want to shorten my name from Celestina to Cele because it's easier. I tell them, no way. If I can learn the name Mark, you can learn the name Celestina, and I'll teach you. And that always has people say, oh, you know, so always remember, you can be proud of your name no matter how long or short it is. Have a great time.
Well, you know, I have to interrupt you just for a minute to say, my name also was changed on me back in the day when I started school. You know, if the teacher couldn't pronounce your name, they would change it. And my name, actually, I found out years later on my birth certificate that my name is MaryLou, which is beautiful. I love it. And they changed it to MaryLou because it was so much easier. But I wished I had realized that many years before, and I would have legally changed it to MaryLou because I think it's a beautiful name. And Leoncio, your name is just beautiful too. So we just have to be proud of our names and where they come from. Because I was named after a grandmother also.
Yeah.
So you know it's nice to carry that family name. But thank you so much, Eileen.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, Leoncio. Thank you so much for being with us today. Okay.
We appreciate y'all. Have a great time in school. Bye.